This is the M-Balm effect. M-Balm.
Look at this guy. What the hell happened to his eye? He looks insane.
Omen.
I will tell my son this. You better make sure she comes.
Ghost.
It's like going back to context with Tomb Raider.
Austin Dash.
Eat you alive. Have you not seen Mermaid?
Andrea.
He called her over to use her body to masturbate himself.
Streaming live from YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, and the embalmeffect.com. The M-Balm effect starts now.
Yo, what is going on? Welcome to the M-Balm effect. I'm your host, M-Balm. Today with me, I have Justin Hart. He's here remotely. How's it going, man?
It's going pretty good. I'm very excited to be on the show, man. I've been listening for the last month or so, and I gotta say, y'all fucking tickle me right, bro. I'm serious.
No, I appreciate that, man. I love the feedback. It's good to hear that, though, and I'm glad that we're able to tickle you, right? You know, we like to give you a little tickle. You know,
You hit just the right spot. I'm telling you, bro.
well, that's how you find the little man on the boat. You got to play around once in a while, and once you find it, you just got to give it to him. So,
Hey, whew, I feel that for sure. Hey, man. I'm glad to be on the show, man, and I'd like to start off with a story, if you don't mind.
absolutely, let's kick it off with a story from Justin right now.
All right, so me and my buddy were out of town, right? And we were working this long-hour job, and we were just getting off. We were going to Walmart to get a little supplies, some food, maybe, and
Okay.
we walked to the back of the. Well, we get into Walmart. I'm sorry, I'm a little nervous.
Oh, you're good, man. No, it's okay.
Yeah, but anyway, we walk into Walmart, right? And I really I get halfway down, and I realize I have to shit, right?
Yeah.
And so the obvious choice in Walmart is the back bathrooms because there's more privacy. You don't see a lot of people in there, and
Right.
so I hunker down to take my poo, and every time I start to really get into my phone, start looking around, right? And
Yeah.
I start to notice that the crack in the door of the stall, I see a little flash of light. And I'm like,
Oh.
that's a little weird. It happens once, and I'm like, okay, maybe it's just a little coincidence. It happened for a second time. So this time, I'm not going back down to my phone. I'm looking straight at that crack, trying to figure out what the fuck's going on. And it was probably a second or two later, I see this very saggy looking eye. I could see the bags under his eyes and everything. His eyebrows were going all over the place. And I was like, yo, dude, what the fuck? And that's the most vulnerable spot for a guy, you know? You're sitting down on a toilet. You got your damn pants around your ankles. And you see this old creepy guy looking in. So I jump out of the stall and follow this guy halfway through the store. And it turns out he was this extremely overweight 60-year-old man. So I kind of just was like, you know what? This guy's been a perv since day one, and I don't think he's going to change.
Nah, he's a turd burglar, man. He's coming for your shit. It's not
Dude,
good. You can't let him get it.
He smelled it for sure, bro, because it was instantaneously I sat down and it was flickering. And I saw this guy when I was walking in, and he was kind of creeping around the front door. So
Oh, yeah. You can't let this guy. Can't let him take your shit, man. No, that ain't right.
No,
this guy's. Yeah, he's obviously a stalker. He's like a hunter, man. He can smell it, you know? He's got those senses.
Yeah,
he's like one of those guys
bandit.
from back. Yeah, you don't want that. You gotta get away from those people.
Oh yeah, yeah. That shit was honestly a little terrifying. But when I seen
no,
how old he was,
no
I
pun
was like,
intended.
yeah,
Yeah, that shit's
absolutely.
terrifying. It's the worst shit you ever had.
So let me ask you, M-Bomb, have you ever had an experience like that where you're like almost literally caught with your pants around your ankles?
Nah, man. I try to avoid those goddamn public restrooms, man.
I should have
Especially
known
in that
better.
manner.
Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta pinch the loaf, as they say, and you gotta just squeeze those cheeks tight, get in that car, and drive your ass home, so that way nobody's climbing through the stalls trying to steal your shit.
I
You don't
feel
want
that,
that.
but it kind of depends on how loose that shit is too. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
'Cause
yeah, sometimes under
sometimes them
hot
bubble
pressure
guts
and in
get
an
you.
emergency, man. Yeah,
Yeah,
you got to be careful.
exactly.
So you're at the store. This happens. So what happens when you get out of there? Do you see the guy? Does he
It's funny.
engage you?
I kind of chased him like halfway out the store, and then I was like, I gave up, and I run into my coworker because he was in the same store with me getting his little supplies, and I told him the whole story, and he's like, dude, he looks at me so serious in my eyes, and he's like, dude, you cannot tell this one to anyone else. And I'm like,
And
now I'm telling it on a fucking podcast live. So
and
there you
here
go.
he is on the M-Balm effect, just spilling his guts out after a
Hey.
long, hard day of taking a dump and dodging turd burglars in the bathroom.
Yeah, exactly. You know in the head, M-Bomb, for real.
Yeah. It's a crazy world out there, Justin. You can't let these
It
people
is.
you just can't take any shit, especially when it comes to them.
It was kind of crazy because at the time I was a lot heavier. I was like 310 pounds maybe, and
All right.
I just kind of thought to myself, I'm like, does this dude get off on a 310-pound dude shitting on the toilet? Like, is that his thing?
Right.
And I guess it
what-
is.
What brings a person to go, hey, I really want to go crawling into stalls and creeping people out. Not only that, but just stealing their shit out of the toilet. What makes people think
Yeah.
that?
Come on, bro. What was he gonna do with it? What do you want, the like spice melange or something?
He's got a whole collection at home in the basement. He's got jars filled with just guys' shit everywhere.
Oh,
He doesn't
man, I
discriminate
could
either.
see it.
He'll even go in the women's bathroom too, probably.
Oh my. I wouldn't doubt it with this guy. He was mad creepy. I'm not gonna lie.
Well, that's why you gotta dodge them, And like I said, it comes to the point where you gotta go, if you can, just try to make it home. So that way you don't have people. I mean, unless you have people crawling through your bathroom windows, if you have a window in your bathroom, or breaking into your house to try to steal your shit, I think you're safe.
Yeah, you're
I
right,
think you'll be
man.
all right.
Lesson learned on that one. Next time, I'll probably just shit my pants.
Well, he might still smell it though, and that's the problem.
Oh yeah.
Now
Then
you're
that
out.
chick
Now
really
you're out in
chased
public
me.
with. Well, that's just it. Even if you wear Depends or anything like that, this guy's senses for shit is completely just off the wall. He's gonna rip your pants down in front of everybody, and he might even just take it then. You got to be careful.
Yeah,
That's all I'm saying.
His like equivalent to Spidey senses are going off because
Yeah, he's got shitty senses.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So, with all that shit being said,
It's a great way to start, right?
Great way to start the M-Balm effect here with Justin Hart. Let's just dive into your world, man. You got a podcast. When did you start, and how did you get involved with the podcast world?
Ooh, so this is good. About a little over a year ago, like last January or so, me and a couple of friends were talking about starting one. We had seen like Joe Rogan and like Impulsive and H3 and like these really huge podcasts, and we thought we'd give it a shot. We thought we were at least like mildly funny, right?
Yeah.
So we go to the Best Buy closest to us, and we pick up like 4 shitty condenser mics. They're all like blue snowballs. I don't know if you've ever seen them, but they're like this. Oh, I got one right here actually.
Oh, yep.
Boom.
I seen those. Yep.
Yeah. And we were
The
all
USB
using those.
plugins.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm sure you've had your experience with them in your early years. I'm not sure, but
Well, we technically used shitty, chintzy PS3 headset microphones. That's what we started out with.
Oh, really? How'd that
Well,
work out?
kind of, sort of. We had condenser mics, little Samson condenser mics. But the problem with condenser mics, right?
Yeah,
Say we
yeah,
had a couple
exactly.
of people. We started off with 3 people in this show. We had 3 condenser mics. The problem is the reverb and the echo, because the condenser mic picks everything up in the room. Now with a dynamic microphone like this, it only picks up what's happening here in my face, my mouth, where I'm directing it. It doesn't pick up all the outside noises as well as a condenser
Right.
mic. So that's kind of why we switched over to the PS3 microphone things. They weren't great quality, but they were dynamic microphones to an extent. And then I
Hey,
got
that's
tired
all
of it.
you
It's
need,
like,
man.
yeah, no, seriously, when you start up, you can't just go balls to the wall with gear. It's expensive, you know?
Oh yeah, I
Um,
learned that quick, dude. Like it's to what I have now. It took me over a year to get, so I could
that
definitely see
microphone you
that.
got there looks really nice.
Thank you, man. I just recently purchased that. I was using like a cheaper dynamic mic that actually Kevin Wire from the Randomness podcast, he told me about them, and
Oh,
he
yeah?
really helped me out at the time because I didn't have a lot of money. We were using condenser mics, and he was like, "Look, these mics are $25 a piece. I got a cheap little mixer thing you can get. That was like 100 and something bucks, and it really like took me off, where people could actually understand what we're saying."
Yeah, the quality of sound is the most important thing out of the whole production,
Yeah,
and I know people kind of focus on cameras and all that stuff, and I did myself because we weren't your traditional podcast. We're more of a vidcast, I guess you could call us.
right.
We do it live, we don't record our stuff. And so, like, I made sure we needed like all the cameras and all that, and I was just like, all right, let's just get it all in one sitting. Once I did finally upgrade things, I got the mixer here, the Rodecaster Pro, really great.
Oh
I would
wow.
suggest doing do the first one. The second one, I've heard nothing but trouble from people that had it, that own it. I love the first Rodecaster. It works great. Sound quality is amazing.
Yeah, I heard the preamps and that thing are crazy. They go off, man. So that's
Yeah.
something I definitely want to upgrade to eventually. I'm still running off this mixer with a cloud lifter and all that stuff, but that's sort of boring tech talk, I guess.
Yeah, I know some people don't understand the tech talk, which is fine, but it's
Yeah.
kind of cool to kind of get a little sneak peek behind the scenes of what we do and how we do it, because being in the podcast world is a lot different than just sitting here and talking and then that's it. There's all
Yeah.
kinds of things that go into it.
Yeah, and
Before a
people
show,
don't
I
realize
obviously
that.
no, and that's just it. They don't. Before a show, I get everything set up, I get everything prepared, whether it be the normal show on Saturday or if it's a remote guest like yourself. I have to get the content downloaded that I had prepared for the show that day or whatever, and
Right.
there's a lot of work that goes into it. But
Yeah.
yeah, it's nice to see. It's nice to see other people and how they do it in their show. Ghost Media Entertainment's with us. Hello, friends. Hi, what's going on, Ghost Media Entertainment?
What's
and
up,
it's my
Ghost
buddy
Media?
Dustin. He's
Hey, I
great.
watched that live last week, something like that, where he had his
Yeah, it
kid
was.
in it and stuff. Yeah,
Yeah, it
that
was
was
last
pretty
week.
cool.
Wow, a week ago already. Flew right on by. Yeah, go check out Ghost Media Entertainment. They interview bands all around the country. They do what we're doing right now. He's a great guy. Dustin's awesome.
Yeah, I really enjoyed listening to his story, man. It was cool how he like made these little connections here and there.
Yeah, no, it's cool because like this little community that we have, people don't really think about the podcasting community like, oh yeah, but there's a huge like networking system that's happening right now, and especially the chat that we're
Yeah.
on with Jukebox and all those guys. It's amazing how we all kind of met each other, and if it's like you think about it this way, if none of us even started this venture, we would have never met each other, and that's just the craziness of it all. Like,
Yeah, man, I love it. It's so cool to like get to know all you guys and your different styles. Like, there's some guys who are like interviewers. There's some guys who like review stuff. There's some guys who just do like straight up comedy, like myself. So
yeah,
we got the like healthiest mix of podcasts for sure. And
absolutely.
I would encourage anybody who's watching this to definitely check out the Clash of Casters link tree with like everybody on it, and check some of them guys out because there's a lot of talent out there that doesn't get the exposure they deserve. I think,
I
including
absolutely
you
agree.
guys, including you guys.
Yeah, I mean, we deal with a lot of algorithms, and it's just like the bands, like all the different musicians, especially here in Rochester, New York. There's so much talent here in the ROC, but with algorithms and stuff, it's kind of hard for everyone to get a reach. So with that, you got to do what you can. Like, I know how hard it is to constantly be on social media. I'm not really big on the whole social media thing, but I've been better about it, getting highlight clips and all that. Try to get a reach so that way we have more listeners. It's like, I know we have the content people would love to listen to or watch. Not everybody. I mean, 95-year-old Mildred's not going to be listening to this while she does her sewing and
That'd be
and
hilarious.
drinking her tea. Yeah, maybe there is one of those older
Maybe
ladies
one
out
or
there that
two.
might listen. Maybe one or
Who
two.
knows?
But there's always a demographic, right? We're not focusing on 95-year-old Mildred, but if she enjoys the show, that's amazing. But the fact of the matter is we have the content, we have the goods. It's just a matter of getting it out there to people. It's just like the drug smugglers, We're the podcast smugglers.
I
We're
agree.
smuggling,
Wholeheartedly.
podcasts. Yeah. So,
Hey,
so
man.
how long have you been in this, man?
I'd say in total about like a year and maybe a couple months. It's
right.
not been like a super long journey. Like I started out, I guess I can kind of like track my YouTube journey so far. I started out like as me and my buddies, like three of us, and we did maybe like 20 some podcasts together. And
Okay.
it just got like really difficult to like line everybody up and get everybody at the same time. So
Yeah.
I kind of just started doing my own thing. And like I tried a couple podcasts where I was just talking and trying to riff the whole time, but I didn't like it as much. So decided to switch over to like interview type stuff. So what I decided to do was hit up Omegle. And if you don't know what that is, it's a video chat service, and you like randomly get matched with people. So
Yeah.
so I started doing interviews on there, asking people like, "Hey, what's your craziest story? Like, do you have a funny thing you'd like to tell me, or like anything?" Like, I'm just trying to fish for something wild, and it struck gold the first few. Like, I think it was Chodecast 3. I did. It was like a mega clip show, and that was like the first one I ever did, and it kind of really popped off. So since then, I've been rolling with that and just doing that thing.
Yeah, see, that's a uniqueness, man, because you did something that I'd never even thought about doing. Because there was Chat Roulette, there's Omegle, there's different sites you could probably do that with, but never once did that ever cross my mind to just run across randoms and ask them questions. Now you got something unique there, man. That's awesome.
Well, I will say it's not like completely an original idea. The podcast on there, I haven't seen that idea yet, but I have seen like content creators who do similar stuff, but they don't do it in like a podcast format. It's not like an interview thing. They're just trying to get random ass clips, which is respectable in its own right,
Yeah, absolutely.
But
everyone's got their own thing, right?
Yeah, and
for the most part.
Honestly, I don't really care if it's original or not because I've been enjoying the fuck out of it. Honestly, it's been so much fun. The reaction I'm getting from people seeing my clips, I just love it so much.
Yeah, and that's just it, man. That's the key part of it is, are you having fun? And if you're not, then that's the key part. Like if you're not,
what are you doing,
that
bro?
sucks.
Yeah,
right. Yeah. Having fun's the key part. Everyone's focused on numbers and all that other stuff, and some people might even be focused on, oh my god, I need to make money off this. It's like, dude, just chill the hell out. Just let's fucking have fun first before we even think about anything like that. Like,
right?
Not even.
Why would you want
to? Point.
Yeah. Why would you want to turn your hobby into a job? Almost, I feel like I get wanting to get monetized, and that's all fun and good, but when you get to that point, it's a different game. You're doing it to grind merch and like numbers and trying to get people to sign up for Patreons, and it's just a whole different game, man.
It is.
So I'm just kind of enjoying my. Oh, go ahead.
I said, yeah, we have merch and stuff. Like it's available.
Yeah,
but we're not constantly like that's not our focal point.
Right. It's just something that comes with it eventually. And like you guys, I feel like y'all have gotten to the point where y'all could definitely make some money doing that for sure.
I mean, it would be cool. I mean, if I could, if we could make something out of it so that way we can put it back into the show. Like that's the thing. Like, I spent out of my pocket all this gear and stuff, and it'd be kind of nice to at least do something so I can upgrade stuff for us to do. Like, I don't know, have different things to like props.
Yeah, cool stuff
props on the table.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Let me tell you, man, I have really enjoyed the fact that you added a female into the mix too. What's her name? Andrea?
Yeah, Andrea.
Yeah,
she's been great.
Andrea. She is very fucking funny. I was pleasantly surprised how well she rolled with the boys. I thought that was so cool.
Yeah, dude. So what we did was me and Ghost sat down and we were like, okay, what do we want planned for this year, right? Because we try to all get inclusive with this. We want to be able to work together. It's a team effort, We're the TME crew. It's not just one person, right? So we got together. We tried a female co-host a couple of years ago. It just didn't go well. There was some, I don't want to say animosity towards each other, but there was an awkwardness that happened because of how she came onto the show. So we rolled with it, and I was like, man, my wife and Omen's girlfriend, Kitten, she'll come on to the show once in a while, and then like my wife will come on once in a while. But obviously, my wife's pregnant; she's not going to want to do this right now. So I don't expect them to do this full time. I was like, we really need a full time female cast member. I would love to have a female personality and outlook on stuff. So we came up with the decision. Since Andrea's a longtime listener, she understood the jokes. She knows how we are. So. And we've seen her plenty of times at shows here in the ROC. And Ghost's like, yeah, let's ask her. And I was like, hell yeah, that's a perfect opportunity. And lo and behold, man, she's been fucking killing it. She's got the jokes, bro. And like she's the voice of reason. Like last week, we got a little out of hand in some of the conversations we had, and she's like, why are we talking? It was great, man. I was like, yeah, see, it kicked in.
And that being said, Ghost, he'll be cracking me up sometimes because he'll throw some shit in there to just like, I feel like just get a reaction, and I love it so much. Like some of the shit he says, I'll be fucking dying. Like something about when y'all were talking about a dog or something. Fucking dog.
Oh, dude. So yeah, that was a crazy thing. Like a few months ago, there was a story that there was this guy doing some type of work in this lady's house, and he was trying to coerce this dog to have sex with him. Like, dude, okay, so then you like think about it. We have cameras nowadays, right? And this is this is coming out now because of cameras. Now think about all the times that people didn't have Ring doorbell cameras and indoor cameras, and think about all the crazy stuff that like all these workers did with people's animals and stuff. Like it's a little
they're completely unmonitored, man. I could see fucking a savage ass guy just going to town and knowing he's not going to get busted.
Dude, that's what I'm saying. Like this guy so here, fucked. It is like the lady's like freaking out. Like I got to get home. And the worst part of it is, cops didn't do anything about it. They bought his story hook, line, and sinker. He's like, just adjusting my pants. It's like, dude, no, you weren't. You were obviously trying to get the dog to mount you. And I'm just like, dude, oh my god.
People are wild, dude. Yeah, the age of the internet.
Yeah,
all these kids that are adults now are the people who've seen Two Girls, One Cup and Blue Waffles and guy in one jar.
Yeah, one guy, one jar. One comment here from Brookie says, hello, how's it going, Brookie? Yeah. And if you're just joining the show now and hearing about one man, one jar, and all this other stuff, it's because we're talking about the craziness that this world exists in, and just think about the times that their cameras didn't exist. Again, it's kind of nuts.
It is kind of nuts. It really is.
Yeah, and that's just it, man. You think about how people do this stuff now with cameras. How bad did it get when there wasn't cameras around? Like, the guy, like, he knew the camera was there eventually, so he stopped. Now you're somebody that's in a room with no camera. Do you stop? Probably go full on, right?
Yeah, yeah, I think it'd go harder for sure. If
Yeah,
he knew
that's
it's
not good.
unmonitored. Yes,
Yeah.
it's not a great situation. I gotta tell you, man.
No, that poor dog, and the dog
Yeah,
thought he was just playing, you know.
I don't know.
We
That
live in
dog's
such a
sus
world,
too,
man.
bro. That dog's a little sus too.
Maybe.
He at least sniffed that thing, bro. I'm telling you.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. He was probably like, this is strange. This is not the usual smell.
Right. I can see that for sure.
Yeah, man. Yeah, Ghost, Omen, and I, we've known each other for plenty of years. Like I'm talking over a decade. Austin, he came into the picture, I don't know, maybe 4 or 5 years ago, and then Andrea's come into the picture about a year or so ago. So we kind of all met like at different times, but we have such a great chemistry together.
Yeah, man. It's undeniable chemistry, man. Because like y'all be just riffing on something, and y'all roll and roll and roll, and you're doing your little scene switches and stuff too. It's all so masterful, dude. I appreciate it. Like when I'm watching it, I'm like, man, I can really tell they've put a lot into this, for sure.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I'll be honest with you, man. Like I got so used to switching the cameras and all that while I'm actually hosting a show and just like doing the sound effects and making sure the board's up to par. And I'm just like, I don't know if I think it would feel weird if I gave everyone else the tasks of doing these separately. I think I would feel a little bit weird not having these things in my head to do at this point.
Yeah. Hell, nobody could probably do it as flawlessly as you at this point, man. Like you're fucking just rolling, dude. I love it.
Yeah, man. I
I,
just, it's you get used to it.
yeah, I'm sure. And I tried to do the whole thing where I kind of controlled the scene switches when I did the Friends podcast, and
Yeah.
eventually I just got my fiance Brooke-Ann, who commented earlier. I got
Oh,
her
okay.
to do my tech stuff for us.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that got kind of interesting because we talked about some pretty fucked up stuff, and she was there for all of it. So
Yeah, it's like my wife, man. She knows what's happening. She knows what the conversations are like on our show, and she joins in on it. She's a trooper, and
hey,
that's the best part of it.
you gotta love having a good woman behind you, man. It makes all the difference, don't it?
Absolutely, yeah, dude. So, it's like it's nice to be able to have her on the show, and she completely understands the jokes and like completely understands that we get a little down and deep and dirty sometimes in these rabbit holes that we go down into, and it's just a little weird sometimes, but it's how we roll here on the TME.
Hey, y'all caught my attention from the first episode, for real.
No, I'm glad, man. Like, I've had a lot of guests on here, like not even like remotely, but studio wise. We've had plenty of like bands and all that, and they've like been like, wow, this is pretty legit. It's their first experience like this. Whereas somebody might do a remote Zoom or whatever, or they might have like a show where they pre-record it in like a small little room and just a couple microphones. This is a completely different setting for them, and they actually appreciate that because it's a different experience. We hold something that's different than somebody else, which is cool. Like I like that aspect that everybody has their own unique experiences, which it's really cool.
Yeah. And when I'm watching your guys' podcast, it does feel like a hang. Like I feel like I'm actually in the room, fucking chilling with the boys and the lady, and we're just fucking getting down, getting a little turn up together, and I love it, man. It's just a good all around time, for real.
I like hearing that because that was pretty much my whole goal in mind was to make it. I don't want anybody to feel like they're left out. We have a phone line. You can get on the chat, which we have from I think your sister Tori. What's up, big bro? She says.
Yeah, what's up,
See,
Tori?
I like the interaction. You know what I'm saying? It's nice.
Yeah. It is nice. It's a whole other aspect that I haven't really seen much. So I think y'all do have a pretty unique kind of vidcast, I guess you would say.
Yeah, vidcast, podcast, the whole kit and caboodle.
It's a cast.
Yeah, it's a whole cast. It's just a cast.
It's the whole damn cast for sure.
So I see you got a little graphic behind you there. and you got the
Oh,
whole
yeah.
wall and all that stuff, man.
Yeah. Believe it or not, that's not real. I'm sure you knew that. But
Yeah.
but yeah, that's the Half-Hearted podcast. There's a funny story to that because earlier I told you that the first Omegle clip show I did was called Chodcast.
Yes.
So I was just typing it in on YouTube one day. I'm like, I want to check one of my videos out, see what kind of comments and stuff I got. And I typed it in Chodcast, and my stuff didn't even come up. Some dude with like 2,000 subscribers or something had already had like the Chodcast show or whatever. And I noticed they hadn't posted in like 3 years or something, but I was just like, I'm going to do my own thing and make my own brand if I'm going to do this. And
Yeah.
that's kind of where the Half-Hearted podcast came from. It kind of has my name in it a little bit. A lot of people think I'm just dumb and misspelled hearted.
Nah, man, that's what you have the name to do it, and that's what makes it even better. So let me
Right.
ask you this: are you related to the Bret Hart family? Are you related to Bret Hart and all them? Owen Hart?
No, but I am like vaguely aware of them. I've watched a little bit of wrestling here and there, but my wrestling knowledge is just not there. My buddies will tell you that. They're like huge wrestling fans, and I'm more of a UFC guy, boxing,
UFC.
stuff like that.
Yeah. So your podcast is the best there is, best there was, best there ever will be, right?
Hell yeah, I like it. For
In the name
sure.
of Bret Hart. Yeah,
I
man.
will say Matt Hardy and Jeff Hardy are from my state, North Carolina. They actually grew up like probably 30 minutes from where I am now.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It's called Cameron, North Carolina.
Yes, yeah, that's exactly where they're from.
Yeah.
Jeff Hardy's in, I guess, some trouble due to DUI. It's not his first
Again?
offense either.
Yeah, I was about to say. So what's the deal with that? Has he just got a big alcohol problem, I'm guessing?
He's had a lot of battles with substances, and I've been pulling for this guy for years, because 12 years ago he had a match with Sting on Impact Wrestling, and the poor guy just like he was pretty drugged up that night, and needless to say, none of those guys were happy. Sting wasn't happy.
Yeah, I imagine.
The whole company. It's a dangerous spot. If the guy doesn't move and breaks his neck, what do you do? So they quickly ended the match.
Yeah, man, because they're all based off a reaction and stuff too. So if that's like if you're inebriated and that's slowed down, I feel like that could really get you fucked up for sure.
Yeah, and some of the stuff that we heard, we had Eric Emmon on here. He's a local wrestler here. He just retired not long ago. Some of the things he said, like, it's dangerous. It's a dangerous sport, right? And you got a guy that's inebriated, right? He's drugged out of his mind. You can't continue the match. And now he could face jail time, I think, at this point, because it's not his first offense. I don't even think it's his second.
Fuck. So he might get put away for a while then, huh?
We might not see Jeff Hardy wrestle ever again at this point. That's the facts. I mean,
his reputation's probably ruined at this point. I'm sure.
Yeah, which sucks,
I hope that he does find the clairvoyance to get clean and figure that out, because everybody deserves a nice, like, healthy life. And when you're in that deep, it's just you don't see how bad off you are. I've seen it time and time again.
I know. It's unfortunate, and
yeah, for sure.
We advocate for mental health awareness and substance and addiction and all that. And the thing we know pretty much is that it's important. It's important to reach out. If you got a problem, you got to reach out. And I know I was talking about that with Ghost Media Entertainment last time, and it's important, man. We just gotta help each other out.
That's a good message to spread, and I know a few guys from the network that we're in. I know they advocate that a lot as well, because I think it's Sean Young.
Yeah.
He talks about that a lot, and I've recently started following his TikTok, and I gotta say, it's very good. I enjoyed it a lot.
Yeah. Yeah, he's he was on the show not long ago.
Yeah.
Sitting with Sean is a great podcast, especially if you want to hear different people's experiences with addiction and mental health and all that. It's important to listen to those kind of podcasts because it really does dive into the world of people that have different experiences in all kinds of different areas. And
Yeah.
especially if you're somebody who deals with depression, anxiety, and all that stuff, you're definitely going to need some type of guidance in a way where you're like, okay, I'm not alone in this, right? Because sometimes we
Right.
get in our head. This is the worst. So between this year and this year is like the no man's land, right? This is where a lot of battles happen. It's a war zone in there. It could be worse than World War II, World War I. It could be a lot worse than anything else in between that we can even think of. Because in here, in our brains, this is our worst enemy right here. You could hear different people all around the world talk shit about you, but when it's your own mind telling you you're worthless and hope you just everything's hopeless, it's the worst because you can't escape it.
Yeah,
know?
man, and I can identify with that heavy. We all have our dark moments, but some it's a lot worse than others. And my heart goes out to anybody who has those issues. I have problems with anxiety and stuff myself, so I could
Yeah.
definitely identify with that.
I know everybody everybody doesn't not everybody understands anxiety. So anxiety is completely different than what one person would experience to the other. I think everybody has different side effects of anxiety. It could actually make you physically ill if you're that, if that's just how you react to it. Other people might not have that problem. Maybe they cope differently, or maybe they're biting their fingernails or something. Where
Mhm.
somebody else might be throwing up every morning because they're dreading the day because their anxiety's so high. Everybody
Yeah.
deals with anxiety differently, so it looks differently for everyone.
Oh, you gave me cold chills, then, Mom. Yeah, yeah, that really is that hit home with me hard because you know sometimes anxiety to me is just like this just overwhelming, just I don't know, driving voice in the back of my head, and I can't just shut it up. And sometimes it's just I don't know, it's a lot of different things to me, man. I
Yeah.
The way you put that, it really hit home. I don't know.
It's hard to explain sometimes to somebody, right?
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
you're trying to you're trying to explain to somebody, listen, this is what I'm going through, but it's never easy to explain it, to describe something to that nature. And
mhm,
depression, same thing with depression. Everyone's like, somebody who hasn't experienced depression might think, oh, you're sad all the time. You're always crying. That's not the case. That's never the case. As a matter of fact, when it comes down to depression, I suffer from seasonal depression, especially. So wintertime is my worst time of the year. So when it comes down to it, is like all these bad thoughts start coming into play, right? Like it doesn't even take, it only takes one little thing to trigger it, right? It
yeah,
could be a
yeah, for
song,
sure.
it could be a smell even. I've had a smell just bring me back to a time and it just sunk back into like that darkness. And I'm like, damn, it was really that easy. I was having a decent day until that happened. And I'm just like,
Right.
damn, this really sucks. So, when it comes down to that stuff, depression and all that, if you're somebody who hasn't experienced it, be thankful. It's not fun. And when you hear people commit suicide like Chester Bennington and all that, like
Mm.
it's like, oh well, he had a lot of money and all that. He had the fame. That has nothing to do with why he did what he did, right? It has nothing to do with depression. It's all up here, man. Like I said.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Um, Definitely, man. And that shit, it was fucking beyond sad because I know he had a huge impact on people and kind of put everything he had into the music. And for it to end that way, it's just such a tragedy, man. I can't imagine like the dark hole he was in, but I want to say if anybody like even comes close to that, definitely please get help for sure.
I I listened to the unreleased song that they just released, Lost. Did you hear that one?
No, I haven't actually yet. I gotta check that out.
Yeah, it was from the Meteora album, that time era.
Uh
It
huh.
is a really good song. I told my wife, I go, I wish this song was released back when Meteora was released. I would have jammed the fuck out to this song plenty of times. But
So why didn't they release it?
I'm not sure, man. It's a really great song. I just I was like, man, I could really see this being officially part of the album, but it never made it
Huh?
until never was released until just recently. And I'm just like, wow. But I
It
thought
makes
about
you
it. I'm like,
wonder if
man,
they have like a big back order of songs that maybe they haven't released yet.
that could be. I know artists out there that do that. They have a whole backlog of music, but
Well,
uh,
like when Mac Miller passed away, a couple years later they dropped a full album. So I
yeah,
thought that was pretty neat. He must have already did the bulk of the lifting on that, I'm sure.
absolutely. But like,
Yeah.
I thought about like I felt the feels when I heard this song, right? And I'm thinking to myself, wow, could you imagine that band and like all the people that made and produced that song for the release? Just think about how they felt, like going back and listening to Chester Bennington sing one last time. You're like, man, this is probably one of the only things left that we have of him that was never released. This might be the last release with Chester Bennington in the music, like his vocals and all that. Just last time ever. And they probably were like crying their eyes out when they were releasing this stuff, man.
I'm sure, man. I'm sure. Like that had to have been a heavy room for sure because Jesus, man. Like especially I could see it for like huge fans too. Like just people who are like big fans in general listening to it.
Oh
Um
yeah.
yeah, but I gotta check that out, man. I gotta hear that song.
I implore you to check it out, man. It's a good song, man. It's if you haven't checked it out already, it's called Lost by Linkin Park.
Lost.
Colin says Juice World is still releasing songs to this day, I'm fairly sure, and he's been gone for years. That's he must have a backlog, right? Juice World must have a
Yeah.
big backlog of music that he just never got to or released.
So what I'm wondering what happened to Juice World. Um
I don't
was it
know.
yeah, I'm not sure on that one.
You hear about these young kids, like they're 20 something years old and they're like rap artists and they get caught up in this, I don't know if it's the fame or whatever. They get caught up in this world and drugs are part of it, unfortunately. And like you hear about these overdoses, like Lil Peep and all that, right? You hear about these things or someone gets shot and killed. And you're just like, dude, really? And you're looking through the article, and it's like, yeah, he was only 23 years old. And you're like, holy shit, 23? Like
That's
he's
crazy, man.
not even beginning his life at that point. Like it's just like in a blink of an eye, gone.
Well, I mean, people are dropping left and right from that fentanyl shit, man. It's in it's in like all not all, but like 80% of like street sold fucking pills, man. And people are putting it in coke and like it's like damn, people are going to just party and like have a good time maybe and fucking dying. So it's the crazy world we live in. I know some people even get informed that they've been doing fentanyl from a dealer, and then that's the stuff they start to pursue because they're like,
Yeah.
"Oh, that's what's getting me high," you know.
Yeah.
And it's a fucking very very sad thing because
It
it
is.
fentanyl has ruined families like millions and millions of families for sure. Like, and it's personally impacted my life as well. So
Absolutely, man. It's I've had friends pass away, unfortunately, just last
yeah,
year. I had a close friend unfortunately pass away due to addiction, and it hits home, man. Like
yeah,
I know it wasn't on purpose. Like this wasn't something I think wholeheartedly that this was on purpose. I think it was an accident, right? I don't think it was on purpose. There was another person I knew 10 years ago this September. She was off of heroin, right? She was off of that, and she was hanging out with this dude, right? And I guess she didn't have the medicine that she needed. So one thing led to another. This guy gave her heroin, and I don't think her body was used to what she used to use. I don't know the whole story, but I can tell you this: she overdosed, died, and from what I heard, was that this guy was like calling her boyfriend, saying, "Yeah, come pick up your dead girlfriend." And she was only
wow,
19 years old, dude. Only
what a
19. Her life
heartless
didn't even start.
prick!
Yeah.
Wow,
That's what I heard from around town, from people that knew her and knew the situation. So
yeah,
then you think about it, it's not good.
that's the thing, man. These drug dealers, they don't give a fuck about these kids. They're just trying to make
No.
the quickest dollar they can and convert it over into whatever bullshit they buy, man. Like, is it really worth it at the end of the day? You're taking kids away from their families. Like, come on. That's if you're in that position slinging stuff to kids, like, just fucking, why are you even on this planet, bro? Like,
Right.
just
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
so evil that I can't even really comprehend it, to be honest.
And it's like when you see those shirts like "Kill your local heroin dealer," it's like, seriously though, they're killing
Yeah.
tons of people. You know, minors, adults. You know, they don't give a shit. Their heart is so, you know, just hardened and cold. They don't give a damn. All they care about is their money. They're just like, well, it's. But here's the thing: like, wouldn't you, if you were in that mindset, wouldn't you want that consistent money? Why would you want to kill? Like, why would you want to give somebody enough to kill them? Right?
Yeah, well, see, they don't. That's the thing. They don't intend to kill the people they're slinging the shit to. But fentanyl is. It takes so little to fucking kill somebody
Yeah.
that if somebody's not trained professional, obviously they're going to get the measurements and shit wrong, and it takes very little to fucking just take somebody down. So
Yeah.
it's kind of a fucked up situation, man.
It is. I just wish there was something that would kind of cure this whole thing, right? Like you wish it would just go away. Unfortunately, though, we live in a world where that's a perfect world. We're not in a perfect world, so it's never going to happen. Like this whole war on drugs, like, oh, we're going to take away drugs and we're going to make everything illegal. That never worked. It never worked. It made it worse.
Yeah, it just pushed money into the pockets of criminals. Like the cartels making a killing off of our illegal drug war.
Yeah, and it's just that's just it, man. Like these drug wars. You know, you think about it, like, okay, how many years have we been on war on drugs, right? Has anything really been better? Yeah, like with Reagan and all that, right? Like,
right.
It's you think about all this stuff. Here we are, like 40 years later, right? Since his regime or whatever, since his presidency, this war on drugs. How many people have died of overdoses, right?
Yeah,
like
it's obviously not working.
So we have these bans on things, right? They don't work. Why do we continuously try to make it harder and harder, even though it doesn't really do that? It's just, it's like it's like the black market, right? So people just, and I've been on the dark web. It's not a pretty place. Like it's not pretty at all.
I could imagine. Reddit and 4chan's probably about as dark as I'll get.
Good old Reddit, man. So. You know, our segments on this show, we see a lot of different things on Reddit, man, and it's crazy the things that you see on there. And lo and behold, like you're like looking at it like, how the hell is this even real? How do people actually ask these questions? And you're just sitting there scratching your head. Well, to be honest with you, though, the APB is definitely out.
Woo! Post bulletin.
Oh yeah.
You just had to say Reddit, didn't you?
I knew that was coming. He knew over anticipated it, but I knew it was coming.
The setup was there, and this is the segment where we dive into social media, usually with a Reddit, because Reddit's the most effed up piece of social media you can get to. I don't know why, it just happens to be that way. You got Twitter, Facebook, and all that too, but Reddit seems to be where it's at.
Yeah, so I have this 4chan shit child. I love it.
4chan shit child, yes. So here we are. We have this here. It says, how dangerous is it for guys to take one of those huge dildos that cause a bulge in your stomach like when a girl tells big dick? Also, are there guys big enough naturally to do that to another guy? What do you think, Justin?
Well, I've heard Dr. Drew talk about it, and he said that once you go past that anal bend, that it's not fucking good.
It's not good.
No, you could have all kinds of issues. From pink sock, which I don't know if you've heard about that.
Oh, I think we've heard about that.
You could have rectal
the old
bleeding.
prolapse.
Yeah, you know, the old RB, rectal bleeding.
Not good.
Definitely not good. Probably just fucking tears in general.
Yeah.
What was the second part of that again? I'm sorry.
Oh, that's okay. So it says, also, are there guys big enough naturally to do that to another guy?
I don't know. It depends on how big the huge dildo is she's talking about. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, Colin's asking what What's pink sock?
Oh, okay. Jesus Christ. You're gonna make me do it, ain't you? That's
Yeah, I
my
guess
brother,
so.
by the way. Yeah, and he always pulls the most fucked up shit out of me, like brothers should do, I guess. But anyway,
Yep.
pink sock is where you have a lot of aggressive butt sex, and then the person who's on the receiving end of that, the butthole just kind of pops out. I don't know what it is actually, but it looks just pink and it's not good. It's horrible. So
I love how
you're
Dan
welcome.
says enlighten us. Dan says enlighten us. He wants to be enlightened.
You're welcome,
Ah.
Dan.
So I don't know why we keep getting in this topic, but for some reason, Mr. Hands seems to be the only way to go. Do you think that's what happened to Mr. I'm sure that's what happened to Mr. Hands. I mean, he had a horse dick up his, not MPEG, up his ass. What do you think's going to happen?
Mr. Hands had a fucking dick so far up his ass that it was almost coming out of his throat. Because because to die from that, it's got to be pretty fucking brutal, man. I would say.
Embarrassing, brutal.
Well,
the whole thing, man.
yeah, right. Is that the way you want to? Is that what you want on your tombstone? This dude
And
was
died by horse dick.
yeah, he was impaled like Vlad Taylor would do.
Colin says, "I wish I didn't ask." It looks like your brother.
Yeah.
He regrets that decision to ask the
I
question.
told you.
Yeah, I just, and it's crazy because like you ask yourself when you read these on Reddit, right? When as I'm scrolling through and I'm reading this, I go, is this person legitimately wondering what this is like, or is it just because he's being a troll? But I think there's more to it than just being a troll. I honestly wonder if somebody actually thinks, can I get the answer I want, and should I try something like this, right?
Yeah, can I shove this like 12-foot rubber fist in my ass? Is basically what
Dude,
they're asking.
Well, that's just it. You
Maybe
wonder
not
to
12
yourself,
foot.
okay. I mean, and there was other posts we've read on this show months ago. One where there was a mother and a father who were turned on by their brother or their son and their daughter having sex together. I'm like thinking to myself, what? Yeah, it was one of the all post bulletin we did months ago, and I'm just to this day I still don't understand it. Like,
people are foul,
drives
man.
what drives a parent to be turned on by their kid? Like that's, and then you think to yourself, why is this happening?
Yeah, you gotta wonder if it's a product of the generation. Having to turn
the volume down because your coworker heard horse dick. Yeah, down impact.
Oops.
This is well, it's in the description. It's not safe for work. This show, NSFW.
Brooke,
But that's just how we roll.
You'll be okay.
It'll be all right.
Yeah,
Horse dick.
yeah.
Oh, somebody's Mr. Hands. Hello.
Just a
Somebody-
little horse dick.
I don't think the horse dick is small. Dude.
That's right. You're fucking right. It's a big old whopping horse dick.
Yeah.
For
Oh
sure.
yeah. And this person's asking about a dildo, like with the size of a ball. Just like no. There's people out there that take worse. I mean, there's one man, one jar we talked about earlier. Circle it back around.
Oh yeah, I love that. That's awesome, man.
Yeah.
But yeah,
it gets kind of crazy.
one guy, one jar. That shit was. Whew. That was rough
So-
to watch, man. Did he die? Did that guy die?
I don't know, man. I never really dived that far into that story. I mean, maybe.
I would
maybe
think
you
so,
maybe would
right?
die from that.
Yeah.
What's that?
You'd think there'd be at least one main artery through your ass, you know?
Well, I don't think anybody that goes and does something like that to themselves are doing themselves a favor. Anyways, I don't think their little buttholes can take it. I don't think it's made for that.
So you're saying the guy's a poo nanny is what you're saying?
Yes. Oh yeah. It's
Can't take that
well,
little jar?
there again. The pink sock, the prolapse it's not good, man. It's not good.
Yeah, it's like game up your butthole, bro. Like what the hell?
Are they even using lube at this point, or are they just doing it dry, like full on?
Not necessary. Once your ass is this fucking wide, you don't need lube anymore.
Yeah, no, not at all.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
No. The things that we talk about on the show, and if you
I love
haven't already listened to the show, well, just expect the craziest of the crazy. I think we try to push that boundary a little bit on what we can say and do on this show. I don't know if anyone other, I mean, you hear these talk shows, right? There's talk shows on the radio that go as far as they possibly can without getting kicked off and canceled. But this is the internet, baby. We don't give a shit about nothing. There is no fucking filter on here whatsoever. You can say just about anything and everybody's okay with it, except for TikTok. You know, TikTok, for whatever reason, does not like the word sex or anything sexual on their TikToks.
Yeah,
that's why I started
every other
censoring them.
Yeah, but every other TikTok you see, there's like some chick breastfeeding, or there's some chick with her tits hanging out, or shit like that. It's like, how is that appropriate, or more appropriate than saying sex?
Right. How is that appropriate?
Yeah, in general, it's supposed to be a gap or an app kind of geared to the younger people as well. And I'm like,
yeah. Well, here's the thing.
It makes you wonder.
I know I talked about it last Saturday, but I was scrolling through TikTok and I'm thinking to myself, because I opened it, I was gonna post a highlight clip, and here it is, a cat being cooked alive, and I'm thinking to myself, what? Oh, you're gonna take our videos down because we said the word sex, but you leave that on there for Mr. Little Old M-Balm here to see, and I don't want to see it. Like, come on.
Yeah,
dude.
I know
that
exactly
really
what you mean. Yeah, yeah.
And I'm just like, dude.
Because I'll be saying like fucked up shit like that too. Like, I seen a Komodo dragon like mauling a deer or something. I'm like, oh god, like this is not what I want to see at 4 a.m.
Damn, Nature, you scary.
Like, yeah.
It's like Family Guy.
Yeah. Damn, Nature.
Yeah. Brooke says, doesn't the butthole prolapse? They have to wear a diaper for life. And Dan says, just backtracking to assholes. Well,
yeah.
Sometimes.
See, I didn't really know that. I didn't know that you had to wear a diaper for life if you prolapse. That's interesting.
Well, you got to think, man. There's some leakage in there after a while because you're stretching some things out that aren't meant to be stretched, especially with those monstrous dildos. And they're not the best of things to use if you're a man or a woman.
Yeah, just use a fucking 12-inch and be done at that. You know, why do you have to go past 12 inches? I don't get it.
Like, one as big as the lamp behind me. Like, come on, dude. Who needs that?
Oh, wow.
Yeah, you know. I mean, this pole over here, even like, why would you need something like that?
You don't, man. It's overkill, no. And honestly, you're a glutton if you're taking that much.
Glutton for a punishment. Well, I think it's time for you to be a guinea pig because I got a new segment I'm starting up, and we kind of started it last Saturday, so it's time for a new segment.
Dastardly Decisions.
Yes, I did see this.
Decisions here. Yeah. So that's the first time anybody's seen the graphic or heard the opening music for it. But yeah, it's a new segment. It's pretty much a Would You Rather segment.
I'm honored, bro.
Dastardly Decisions. What's that?
I said I'm honored, bro.
Honored?
Thank you. Yeah. That was
absolutely.
That's a nice little graphic.
All right, let's start off slow here. We're going to do some foreplay. Would you rather have sex with someone dressed as a Pokemon or doing an impression of Dr. Phil? Justin, what would you rather have sex with?
I'm gonna say a Pokemon because I've seen the Pokemon like cosplay porn, and at least there's some hot chicks in it, right?
Yeah, I mean, almost like a furry thing, right?
Yeah, I'm not really into it, but I mean, I'd much rather have that than. Okay, wait, is the person dressed like Dr. Phil really hot or no?
Well, I mean, it didn't say it had to be a guy. I mean, it could be a female dressed as Dr. Phil with a fake mustache. But I'm just gonna say
I'm
gonna
go with
anybody.
Yeah, I'm still gonna go with the Pokemon. I know you got like issues if you're wearing a Pokemon costume to our first fuck, but I'm gonna go with that, man.
Don't bring a Pokemon costume to the first fuck.
Right. And I might even use like some anal beads that are shaped like Pokeballs or something.
Yeah, for Jigglypuff, right?
Theme. Yeah.
Now, what's your preference though? Do you have a preference of which Pokemon this person dresses up as, like Pikachu or Pokemon? There's that one Pokemon that's from a newer generation, right? And everyone's about like they're over sexualizing, like, oh my god, that Pokemon's so hot. Like, I forget what the name of it is because I'm not really up to date on it, but I did read about that.
Yeah, I actually am a huge Pokemon fan, so there are like a bunch of like feminine looking ones. Maybe Gardevoir. You know, she's a chick and she has
Gar-
like some boobs. So if
Yeah.
anybody
Well,
actually knows who that is, you know, there you go.
It's like if you pick like Nidoran or whatever the name is of that Pokemon.
Oh,
like,
Nidoqueen.
Yeah, Nidoqueen.
some-
Yeah, then you're having sex with an animal, basically, like like a dinosaur. Do you want that, or do you want something that resembles a human? Right?
Yeah, I want it to be very humanoid. I couldn't see myself fucking like a T-Rex or anything like that.
No. Brooke says sex with Pokemon.
And that's why I love Brooke.
Sex with
Yeah.
Pokemon.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with that myself. Dr. Phil. I had a principal that looked like Dr. Phil, and needless to say, I don't want to. No, I don't want to see anything to do with that guy. I don't want to see anything. No mustaches, no goatees, no bald head. I just give me a Pokemon that looks like a human chick, and I think I'll be all right with that. I think I can live with that.
Yeah, dude. Dr. Phil kind of grinds my gears, bro. I don't really vibe with that guy. Did you
Nah,
ever
I
see
don't
the
either.
thing where the guy from Bum Fights came on? And
Yes, that's one of my
he had
favorite
his head
segments. Yeah.
It was funny because the
Anybody-
dude from Bum Fights actually called him out and was like, "Yo, you're exploiting people too, brother. Like, you can talk shit about me doing it, but you're doing it every week on national
Every
television."
week.
Yeah,
Right.
So I was like,
he was
I
saying something.
connected with that.
He said something about you're what the hell did he say? You're exposing other people's I don't know. He pretty much called him out on his bullshit. And
Yeah,
Dr.
he's
Phil didn't
basically-
like it.
Yeah, he's like airing out people's dirty laundry. I'll say, you know,
Yeah, it's not good. Nobody wants
Yeah.
that, right?
no, fuck no, fuck no.
No, nobody wants that. So we have one last one. So we had the foreplay, we had the little taint tickler right there, right?
Ooh.
Now it's time for the real
So it
question.
gets
This is
better.
we ask the real questions, you bring the real answers here, Justin. Would you rather have your mom walk in on you while you're losing your virginity, or have someone shit in your mouth while you eat them out?
Oh my god.
I told
Okay.
you this is the real question.
Ooh, I gotta think
That's
about
a hard
this
one.
for a second. Hold on.
See, I
Would
knew
you
this was going to be a
rather-
hard one to figure out.
Like, or have someone shit in your mouth, like, oh. I would
It's a hard
obviously
one,
not
right?
have to care about the person that I'm eating out. There'd have to be some dirty person already, because I would not do that to someone I love. I'm telling you that now.
He's like, nah, I don't want that. So you're having mommy walk in on you as you're losing your virginity for the first
Yeah,
time. It's-
yeah, I think
this
it'll
is
be
if-
fine.
You'll be all right.
Yeah. I mean, she knows it's gonna happen eventually, right?
Well, I
So,
mean, it's like, yeah, I mean, your parents know eventually this is gonna happen. It's happening regardless of what they say. It depends on what age you're at, right? You don't want to be a
Yeah, yeah.
50-year-old virgin having sex for the first time. That's just embarrassing.
you're just in there, you don't know what to do, you're fucking all sloppy, and that would really suck. Yeah, you fucking don't
And then
have
this might
sex
happen to
till
you
you're
anyways.
50. Yeah,
Yeah, this might happen to you anyways. You might be in this situation and having your mom walk in on you, so that it's a lose-lose. Nobody
Yeah.
wants that. No, nobody wants that. No.
That's just bad news bears right there, bro.
Yeah. So Justin, you choose the mom walking in on you while you're losing your virginity.
Absolutely, yeah. I hate the smell of shit.
Yeah, you
Like
know what?
most
I don't
people.
understand I don't understand poop play. I don't get it. I don't want to understand it. I'm a little bit of a germaphobe. This would be hands down the first decision here for me. I'd have to definitely go for the first choice, and that would be my dastardly decision right there. That would be my would you rather for
Yeah,
sure.
man, I couldn't even handle two girls in one cup. I seen one of them shit into a cup and they started eating it, and I was like, ugh. I started getting like physically sick, so I couldn't handle that, bro.
I couldn't go to Cold Stone and look at those women behind the cash register ever the same again. I could never look at them and look at that chocolate ice cream and never. I could never be the same again after that. That was the
Chocolate
last
ice cream
time
would
ice
be
cream.
ruined for you. Yeah.
It does ruin it for you. You watch that and you're traumatized. You're like, wow, I really don't ever feel like I want to eat chocolate again. Now, 10 years after the fact, you're like, chocolate ice
Maybe I'll
cream,
try it.
pretty good. Just stay away from the video. Don't ever watch it again. You've watched it once. You never want to
We've
see it again.
yeah, we've erased it from our memories with a lot of substance abuse and all that. So
Yeah,
we're good.
Yeah, we're all right. So, yeah, I think we both came to the conclusion that we'd rather have mom walk in on the loss of the virginity rather than have shit in our mouth. Ugh, that's
Absolutely.
gross. Nobody
Yeah,
wants
that's
that.
just
Nobody-
gross.
That's the last thing anybody wants. I mean, you don't really want to see you don't want your mom to see you losing your virginity for the first time, because not only is she seeing her son or her daughter have sex for the first time, but now she's seeing you fail at having sex, and that's not good. Nobody wants that.
And if it's one thing if you like run and shut the door real quick and she don't say much, but if y'all like fucking lock eyes, bro, if y'all lock eyes, that's a game changer. You're not coming back from that. Like,
No,
shit changes from that day on. Like, you're a new person.
Yeah, you're not the same little boy or little girl that she remembered growing up and taking to school dances or soccer games. No, now you're the one that failed in the bedroom and she had to walk in on this for the first time, and she's like never looking at you the same again. Now you're at the dinner table eating macaroni and cheese and steak or whatever, and now she's looking at you like, oh my god, you're disgusting.
Yeah.
How did you come out of me?
Right. You're gonna piss off what's his name, Owen, if you don't make that fucking girl come, bro. Like, what the hell? Your mom's
Omen's
gonna be
great,
fucking
man.
extremely disappointed.
Yeah. Omen in the beginning of the intro. I'm gonna tell my son he better make sure she comes. Yeah. Fucking Omen's great. I've known him for
Shout
so
out to
long. I
Omen.
think yeah, Omen. I've known him the longest on this show. We've known each other for, I'd say probably since 2005, something like that, 2006.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yeah, we didn't really start hanging out until about 2006, 2007. But yeah, we've had a lot of moments.
Bro.
We have a lot of stories to tell on this show. We haven't even got to yet. And not only that, we have a whole catalog of some of the dumb shit we did as teens. I have a whole video library on one of my external drives, and we talk about it. We're like, we should probably use these for some of the stories that we have. I'm like,
Hell yeah,
we
man.
have so much different content, man, of the dumb shit we did as teenagers, and it's there, man. We should definitely think about using it, because I think people would enjoy some of the.
Fuck yeah, you could always tap into that, man, and I'm sure you'd have content for fucking days. For real.
We do. It's nuts, man. Like, but it's just you do dumb things as teenagers. Let me ask you this.
That's a fact, man.
Talking about all this, have you ever had a close call where you almost got caught having sex?
Yes. And it was when I was still living with my dad.
Oh.
Yeah, and he tried to he tried to walk in, and he got the door like halfway open, and I was like, "Daddy, no," because in the South we say "Daddy," and he fucking walked right back out. I guess he knew what time it was.
Yeah, he knew what time it was because he was hearing this.
Might have been hearing it from me, but I don't know if she was moaning too much. Yeah, there you go.
And he said,
yeah. Those are my babies. Yeah, they went all over the floor.
Yeah. That's what you say when you do the money shot.
Those are my babies. Those are my babies.
I love the sound drops, man. That's awesome.
Well, that one is actually one that was recorded by an old co-host. We, if you're new to the show, our first episode was basically about this night out at a bar, and this really belligerent, drunken man came up to some of our Omen Ghost and our old co-host, and was talking about how his wife died for his kids, and like that he's well known around the town, and that he destroyed a whole bar just a moment before he showed up there and whatnot. And we're like, what the hell is this guy's problem? Come to find out, we found the identity of this guy, and we know people that know this guy personally. This guy is actually batshit bonkers. He's legitimately crazy from what we hear. So it makes sense now. But back then, back in 2019, we had no idea who this guy was, and we're just like, dude, can you like go the fuck away? Like,
yeah, can you give us some distance, bro?
Yeah, like he's like getting in their faces about stuff. Like, it was just nuts, man.
Yeah, there's a lot of mental illness out there. I'll say that, because I get harassed daily. Like, going to gas stations and stuff. I always have somebody like hit me up for some change or money in general, and I feel bad not giving them money sometimes. But then again, I know a lot of people abuse that and go and buy stuff they don't necessarily need.
Yeah,
Like-
there's a thing that is being said, like it's not the person that's giving the money that is that shows their character. It's the person who takes the money and uses it for the wrong things. That's their character. It's not the, like something like that. And honestly,
Yeah.
here in Rochester, we see a lot of homeless people or panhandlers out there. And honestly, there was somebody that there's a town called Grease here. And if you're from the area, you'll know that Westridge Road is like a huge road where it's just people are it's a lot of traffic. There's a lot of traffic lights. And by this this one Kodak building, which they redid as a theater, there's like a notable place where panhandlers stand and try to get money. Well, there's this woman, right? And she will run in the middle of the road and just knock on windows and try to get money from them. And these people are just speeding on by. But she'll, like, if there's a red light, she'll stand, like, you're sitting there, and she'll come up to your car. Like, she's really ballsy, man. And there's been somebody hit already on that road.
Wow, dude. Like, what the hell? I've definitely had people like that. Like, when I go to the bigger cities in Charlotte, they'll come up to your window aggressively and, like, hey, give me some money. And I'm like, dude, that is not how you approach somebody to ask for money. I mean, it's already kind of a weird situation to begin with, and then you come up all aggressive like that. No, sir.
No.
So yeah, I'm surprised that that she hasn't got restricted from that area or something, got sent off by the police. Well, maybe she has. Who knows?
I'm pretty sure they know her. I mean, police pass by
Yeah.
that area so many times, but it's just like that. I don't want to see it happen, but how many more chances is she going to have crossing in between traffic like that and not get hit? I mean, one of these days it's bound to happen.
Yeah, she's not going to be as limber as she was or something, and she's going to slip up and somebody's going to clip her, and damn, that'd be fucked up.
Yeah, it's not
for
not good,
everybody.
man.
Yeah.
Well, that's just it. Now you're putting that whole thing on the person that hit somebody. Like, nobody wants to run somebody over, right?
Right. That's I could imagine that's like emotionally scarring, hitting somebody in the road. Like this dude that I work with, I work in construction. He told me that he was on the way home going towards whatever city. That's not important. But anyway, there was a big crash and like right in front of him it happened. And he like swerved off to the side. And when he did, a dude like crawled out and like looked up at him and like they locked eyes. Obviously the guy on the ground couldn't see him, but the guy who was driving seen him and like he has not been the same since, man. I can imagine. Damn, I don't seeing something like that, dude, that could really fuck you up, I would imagine.
Yeah, traumatizing, man. Like you're just driving along, right? You're just trying to get to a restaurant, or maybe you're going to work or something, and then all of a sudden, all it takes is one split second, and somebody's underneath your wheels, and now you got to live with that guilt. You know it's not your fault, right? But it's still, it happened, and you don't want to live with that traumatizing guilt because now you're going to live with that for the rest of your life. Regardless of that person living or not, you're still going to be like, God damn, I just ruined someone's life because they might be paralyzed or they might be dead. Who knows? But the fact of the matter is, you got to live with it.
Yeah, that shit's gonna weigh on you probably for the rest of your life, I'm sure. Which it sucks, man, because something like that, it's just literally chance. You just got to be in the wrong place at the wrong time.
Wrong place, wrong time, like Mr. Hands.
To bring it full circle. Yeah,
bring it full circle. We bring it around town every time on this show, man.
I'm wondering if he at least got paid for that. You know. At least
I don't think he was alive long enough to be paid.
Well, he did it a few times. I know that wasn't his first video.
No, it wasn't his first rodeo, but it was his last.
Oh, that was good. Yeah. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. How like the world is the way it is. And not for nothing. That's kind of why, I started this show because, I drive for a living and I've been driving for a living for many, many years, over a decade now. And I listen to music. I listen to talk shows, podcasts, whatever have you. And, it makes, like you said earlier, you feel like you're part of that crew and you're like hanging out with the guys and the girls, whatever, And I like that aspect, and that's why I started this show. But now it's like we talk about the dark side of society. We talk about the ugliness of the social media aspect. Because let's just be honest here. I think social media has made this world a little bit more crazier.
Oh yeah, yeah, definitely. People can just post whatever from behind their keyboard, and a lot of times there's no repercussions or anything. They can kind of just say how they feel, and they can share these like genuine thoughts they have. So that's why I
Oh,
think,
absolutely.
as crazy as Reddit can be, it's still a good platform because people are getting their ideas out there. And I mean,
Yeah.
as long as you're not being abrasive in that and like attacking people, what's there to stop you, you know?
Exactly. Now, the Super Bowl happened not long ago, and I was unfortunately not able to watch it because I was not feeling well. Now, we talk about social media and all that. I happened to find this video, and this just, I was like, really? People act like this over a game? So let's, I'm going to show you here real quick what this is all
Oh,
about.
yes, I love it.
Yeah, little video action here for some of us. This is, let's just go back here. I got to fix the sound. Here we go.
I got too much fucking money on this.
This is not his TV, mind you. It's somebody else's TV.
Oh my god, are you serious right now?
Yeah.
Yo, that is a dude taking sports way too seriously.
Dude, like, you look at that and you're like, so that's not even his TV, right? He's at a friend's house. They're watching the game, having a bud. True.
So let me ask you, like,
yeah,
let's say Ghost comes over. Y'all are watching the Super Bowl, and I'm just gonna hypothetically, I'm gonna pretend like Ghost is the Eagles fan. He fucking smashes your TV. What are you gonna do, man? Like, are you just gonna be all copacetic like these other guys were? Like, they didn't seem to like react too heavy to that. I'd probably be throwing some hands, honestly.
yeah, I don't think I'd be taken too lightly about it. Needless to say, the person would be definitely paying for another TV.
Yeah. At the very least, is paying for the fucking TV. That's wild, man. People get insane with sports, and I get it to a degree, but damn, I've never smashed a monitor or like busted my TV or nothing like that for over a fucking sports game. Hell no.
Not a TV. Well, this guy was apparently betting because he says, I got a lot of money on this, right? He said
that's true. but he
still,
lost.
You're
even
in a
more
friend's
money.
house, dude. You're at a buddy's house and you're just smashing his
TV.
shit.
Yeah.
Right. Now you're losing more money because I guarantee that motherfucker was paying for another TV.
Yeah. So X amount plus whatever that fucking big flat screen costs. What a genius.
So now you're... Yeah, it's just not good. Like, just stay away from the betting. That's another addiction people don't think about too much is the betting addiction. I never really cared for it. I don't go to casinos with hundreds or thousands of dollars and feel like I need to blow it. You know, I never got that drive.
I got kind of like a funny story about that. That guy, the same guy who told me I should have never told that story to everybody about me, the guy watching us poop. Wait, where was that? Just before that? I've lost my train of thought. Fuck.
Where you were, or
okay,
the betting?
okay, the betting. All right.
Okay.
So this guy I was working with, he'd have me like write down his numbers or text his numbers into his guy because like the guy only wanted text messages, and the guy I was working with wasn't like tech literate enough to like put his bets in. So I knew this guy betted like 3 times a day, every day, all day. So it's crazy, man. People get fucking hooked for that shit. Like they win one good time and they think that it's going to be like that forever. But these bookies are smart, man. They know how to make the money. They don't do that shit for no reason, you know?
I know. They know what they're doing, man. And they're breaking all the rules. They're taking the money and they're booking it.
Yeah.
So
exactly.
Like scratch off tickets, man. I don't know about you, but I don't play them. I don't buy them. I mean, during Christmas Eve, my mom buys like scratch off for everybody. And that's the only time I pretty much play scratch offs. I don't actively go into the machine and press the buttons and spend $30 on. I just don't do it. I just don't care to do that.
I see people in there who I worked at a gas station when I was young, and I'd have people come in all night, man. They'd come in, buy their scratchers, scratch like $150 worth of scratchers outside because I was tired of them scratching their little scratches all over the counter.
Yeah, they're making a
But-
freaking mess for you to clean up, man.
Yeah.
That's not right.
Yeah, exactly. It wasn't fucking cool. But anyway,
No.
they'd come in back and forth all fucking night. I'd count up to like $2,000 in one night on fucking scratch offs, and I'm like, are you really getting your return back on that, like, at all, or are you just doing this for the thrill of it at this point? Like, I don't understand.
I think it's for the thrill, man. I don't see how anybody could lose, get their ass handed to them every time they play and still want to play. I think it's the thrill. Has to be.
Which I do have a funny story about that. One guy actually did win big. He bought a $10 scratch off and won like $1 million. And after taxes, I think he got like probably like 600, maybe 500,000. But anyway,
Understandable.
it's a big lump sum of money.
Yeah.
This dude was very like low class kind of guy. You know what I'm saying? He was always driving around in a beater and like a car that like halfway worked. It'd break down like every other week in my parking lot. So this guy was not the guy to give money. The next time I see this dude, he pulls up in like an Escalade, and
You gotta be kidding me.
it's like fully decked out. He's got the full package. He bought his girlfriend a new ass truck. It's like, bro, that money's gonna be gone so fast.
Yes. Spend it faster than you win it. I thought you were going to sit there and say he was going to spend it on more fucking lottery and just blow it all on that. Now that's even worse. Granted, now
that
he
would
at
be
least bought
fucking
himself.
hilarious.
Oh, dude, but it's happened. That's just it. Like, there's a place in about 45 minutes away in Canandaigua. It's a town called Canandaigua, and it's got a gaming track and all that, like horse races and all that. And I've heard stories where people won like $50,000 and just blew it all on another horse race and lost it. And I'm like, what? I'm like, leave. You take that money and you leave. You get the fuck out of there. You leave.
I'm with you, M-Balm. That's fucked, man. You put 50,000 in front of my face, you'll see my ass real quick because I'm gonna be walking out the fucking door.
At that point, you might as well be called Mr. Hands because the horse just fucked you. Just fucked you.
Oh no, it didn't.
Out of your money.
Man. Hey man, you're on it with your puns tonight. I love it. Or I don't know if it technically be a pun, but it was golden.
I do my best.
Hey,
I do
man.
my best here.
Hey, you do what you can as a just average blue collar guy, right?
That's right. You know, we all work for a living. We're hard workers. We get behind a microphone after a long day's work, and we talk about a bunch of nonsense, right? And then we go home and we sleep. We sleep good at night, knowing what we've done.
Absolutely, brother. I agree, man. Hell, if I didn't have this, I don't know what I would do creatively. Like before, I kind of did like video game stuff. Like I would do some like recorded videos. Yeah. I actually can't stream from where I'm at because my upload speeds are so shit. Like,
oh really?
Yeah, we live out in the country, and like I barely get enough internet to game. So, like,
man.
Live is out of the question, and it kind of sucks, man. Because as I've got into it more and more, I've felt more comfortable to do that, but I just don't have any means to.
Yeah. Right now we're trying to get a legitimate like connection to do streaming. Omen's got a really great idea, and his little project's gonna be called Drunken Buttons. We're not going to give too much details away, but we're working on it. It's going to happen. We're going to get some game streaming. Yeah,
Hell
man.
Yeah.
We're going to get some game streaming. It's like this show has turned into a brand, and now we're just we're evolving and expanding. You know, got the vlogs going. We just started that up not long ago. We're going to have that going. Yeah, man, it's fun, dude. I like the aspect that we can go outside the show and do different projects, you know.
Yeah, man. If it's something that brings you joy in your life, why the fuck not? Like especially with like vlogs and Vlogs are just fun, in my opinion. I've done a couple myself, and you just can kind of like really get off your chest what you're thinking. And
Yep.
honestly, my best, like, I riff the best, I think, when I'm alone and kind of
ya?
in my thoughts. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So that's why when I did a vlog, it was kind of like a hike. I just took a walk and just kind of talked about life, really.
Sometimes it's all you need to do, man. I know some people think that a vlog has to be the most meaningful, deepest thing in the world, but even if you're just sharing an experience, right? And you're giving somebody insight about what you're experiencing at that time through your eyes, whether it be the soundtrack you choose for it or the way you edit the video and all that, it's still a vlog that is worthwhile because now you're bringing somebody into that world. It's not even just about, like, I know everybody's like, oh, I gotta have a deep message. It's not always about that.
No, sometimes it's just about like kicking back and relaxing. And
Hell yeah.
the people who identify with that, that's cool, man. If I can find your crowd and jive with them, that's what this thing's all about, I think. And I've tried to cultivate that myself lately in what I'm doing and try to, I don't know, just connect harder with my audience that I do have. And I've been enjoying the fuck out of it, man. I gotta be honest with you.
That's the most important part of it.
Yeah. Like here lately, it's just taken off more than I ever thought it would. So, if I were just to stay here with the people I have now, I wouldn't be too, sad on that, right?
Nah, man. No, that's just it, man. You know, people around you, you got to keep the good ones. The ones that try to bring you down or talk shit about so and so, and just bring all the negativity. You gotta cut them out.
Wash that shit away. It's not healthy,
Yeah.
man.
Nah.
And some people
podcast. He says a little late, but I made it. What's up, boys?
Oh,
they are on with us right now as we
hell
speak.
yeah.
What's
Woo.
up? Woo!
Hey, man, that dude. Honestly, I talked about him earlier with the mics, but Kevin, he's been awesome in helping me just grow this thing, and he kind of gave me the confidence to put more time into it, And there was a
Absolutely.
point where I was off for like probably a month or so. Like I didn't post. I was in like just depressed and like I couldn't bear to even like point the camera at myself and like lie to people and say that I'm okay. So I took a long break and Kevin reached out to me at that point and it fucking meant a lot, man. Like it really hit me deep. And since then I've been 100 with fucking Kevin. Like I'll support that fucking podcast till the day I die, man. They're really funny and I definitely suggest everybody go fucking check that shit out because
Hell yeah, go check them out over here. The Randomness Podcast. These fucking guys are great. They're funny as shit too, man.
They are, dude. And him and Matt, oh my god, those guys, they have like a chemistry like you guys have, and they can kind of just riff off each other. Yeah.
Yeah, that's just it. The chemistry is there, and that's a key thing. If you're gonna have in studio co-hosts, you gotta have the chemistry, right? So
yeah, absolutely.
As they say, aw. You've been killing it, bro. We appreciate you. They say. Dude, that's amazing. That's what I love about this Clash of the Casters crew. We have a support system,
Yeah, man. And honestly, I don't think I would have had the confidence to come on as much as I did without like this group that's just been like fucking. Like I'll post links on the chat and people check me out and like show their support to me, and I don't think I could have done it without them, man. Honestly, without that solid support system there, it would have been very hard, and I might have even gave up, to be honest with you.
Yeah, and that's the unfortunate side of podcasting. There are people out there that will start, right? And they get 5 episodes in. They're not seeing the numbers. Again, here's the key part. They're worried about numbers, right?
Yeah.
So then they wake up each night or each morning from another night of doing a show or whatever, and they're not getting the satisfaction out of it, so then they quit. And that's not the right way to go about it. You're battling a lot of things. This is not an easy gig to get started into. I'll be the first one to tell you that. But I will say it is fun. And if you're having fun, that's the most important part of it. So just stick with it, man. That's the key right there. Stick with
man.
Consistency.
Yeah, for sure. And if you're not in it and you're just looking for the views, it's going to convey in your content and your material. Like people are going to see that and they're going to not want to watch it. Obviously, I mean that the truer you are to yourself and to the people that you're showing this stuff to, the better reaction I think you're going to receive. And just put your heart into it, basically.
Oh yeah, absolutely. That's the thing. I've learned over the years of doing this. Don't even pay attention too much to the viewer count, especially when you're doing it live. Don't pay attention to it. Don't even look
Yeah.
at it. Don't even worry about it because you know what? It's gonna mentally fuck you up. And
Yeah,
if
yeah. If
brand
you're
new to
watching
this
them
thing, right?
numbers, hmm
Yeah, if you're brand new to this thing and you're looking about, you're like, oh my god, there's zero fucking eyes on this. Like then you start panicking and you just don't even worry about it. Just relax, have a beer, have a good time. Just enjoy it as it comes to you.
yeah, smoke you a number, whatever you gotta do, bro. Oh, yeah, hell
Whatever
yeah,
you gotta do, man. Hell
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. But oh shit, I'm bad about losing my train of thought. Speaking of, because of smoking numbers, so
Oh,
I'm sorry for that,
that's all good.
guys. If I lose my train of thought and I get fucking cloudy headed, but
Hey, it
I'm
happens to the best of us.
yeah, I'm here and I'm enjoying the shit out of this, man. It's been fucking very cool.
Hell yeah, man. If you like music, right? You like going to shows?
Yeah. I used to actually do the whole like hardcore scene and stuff when I was like just getting out of high school, and I played in a band. I played bass a little bit in a band, and we did local shows there, and that was a fucking very cool experience. I
Hell
wasn't
yeah.
very good, but it was fun to
But hey, you
just
had
get up
fun
there
though.
with. Yeah. It's kind of like
Yeah.
this, like um it's not like the greatest thing ever, but I've definitely at least put my heart into it. I was
Absolutely.
jumping all over that stage and getting sweaty and nasty and crab corn.
That's the best way, man. Slapping the bass, as the Randomness podcast says.
Hell yeah.
So this
slap the bass.
this Saturday we are not going to be live on the main show
Oh.
because we are going to go see White Tides headlining at Photo City Music Hall at the Atlantic 543 Atlantic Avenue, Rochester, New York. If you're local here in the ROC, baby, you will be able to see these guys live. Unfortunately, though, for the last time, because this is a farewell show. It just came out. It was just announced. White Tides is playing their last show here in Rochester, New York. And you will see other faces and other beautiful, wonderful voices of Perspectives, Inertia, Gainer, and Easy Death, all there. Again, tickets, $10. Doors open at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time. So if you're in the ROC, baby, you can go see this show and watch White Tides perform one last time. It's going to be huge, man. If you're in this area, please, I implore you, go check out this show. So I don't know if you've ever heard of White Tides, man, but these guys are great. We've had them on the show, actually, on Rock Hard about a year or so ago. And these guys were great. They have such great talent. It's really sad to see these guys disband. I'm actually going to be honored to watch their last show this Saturday, but I will say this. I am not worried about those guys because they have such great talent, every one of them, and I wish them all the best in their future endeavors, for sure. They're going to be great, wherever they go.
Are any of them doing any like different projects after that dies down, or?
That's a good question, man. They never really, came out with that. They just pretty much announced that they're disbanding, and this is the last show. And it just came out of nowhere, to be honest with you.
Well, yeah, I get it, man. Life changes, and people have kids, and sometimes it just gets a lot harder to follow your passions. I mean, and that's not necessarily a bad thing. Sometimes that's just evolving, man.
Yeah. Well, these guys are pretty young, man. They're in their 20s.
Oh wow, yeah. So they got the world ahead.
I'm very
of them,
hopeful
right?
for these guys. Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, and you know how it is, man. Sometimes a band has creative differences, and one guy wants to do one, and the other person wants to do the other thing.
Right.
Understand?
Right.
Yeah.
And as long as it's a clean break. Oh
yeah, absolutely. I don't think there was any bad animosity towards each other. It's just like the other band Diluted that was here in the ROC. They disbanded last year and nobody saw that coming, but they're out doing other things, doing great things, and I have the same expectation for these guys here in White Tides,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, I wish them all the best, and I'll definitely at least check them out. I don't know if they have well, they got like Apple Music or Spotify, or are they on
Yeah, they're on
YouTube or anything
Spotify
right
and all
now?
that.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right, cool deal. I'll definitely check them out.
If you like yourself some hard ass metal, that's they got some hard
Hey,
ass metal for you.
I'm the type of guy who gets in moods for different types of music. So whatever I'm in
Yeah.
the mood for, if I really want to get into a damn uh, worked up or something like that, that's that's definitely what I'm going to play for sure.
Oh, absolutely. Sometimes you got to get worked up, right?
Yeah, man. Like hell, you're feeling kind of tired and going into work, and you just need something to grab you by the balls and fucking drive
Yeah.
you, right? Yeah.
You need
so,
it. Sometimes it's good for you.
So
Gives you vitamins and minerals.
yeah, vitamins and minerals.
Vitamins and minerals inside the vegetable.
Do you see the cucumber guy? The cucumber?
No, I never saw the cucumber.
You definitely got to watch
Pickle
that
Rick?
later.
Oh,
No,
is it
it's
on
just
YouTube?
a guy. Yeah, it's probably the cucumber guy. Cucumber.
Cool.
He has,
Cucumber.
he has a short little song about it. It's fucking hilarious. It's like some vitamins and minerals.
Vitamins and minerals.
Yeah.
This must be new. I don't know.
I don't know.
I've been saying that
I'm
for a long
dumb
time,
and-
man.
I'm real dumb, and like little shit like that will fucking crack me up.
Dude, sometimes you got to look at it like the most simplest thing is it goes a long way. You know, a little bit of something goes a long way. If somebody overdoes something, it gets kind of like too much, right? You don't want to go overboard on something.
Right. Yeah, for sure. I try to rein it in too sometimes, but hell,
Yep.
sometimes you just gotta set us on the old dome, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, man, it was good hanging out with you. Thank you for coming on with me, dude. Seriously.
Hey, thank you, brother. I appreciate it, man. Like I said, I'm a huge fan, and this is
Thank
my
you.
first like live experience. So you popped the fuck
Awesome.
out of my cherry, bro. It's
I popped
splattered
the
all
fuck
over
out
the
of your
wall.
cherry.
Yeah,
Woo!
it's
Kids,
on
what do you
the
say about
ceiling,
that?
it's on the floor.
We'll give him a 1-up.
Oh, I was waiting for that.
Yeah.
That was beautiful.
Yeah. There you go, man. You got the 1-up. If you haven't already, please follow us on Facebook. We have a Facebook page there for the M-Balm Effect. Share, like, and follow. And then go to the YouTube channel. Just like, subscribe, and hit the bell for all the good times, because it'll keep you updated, you know? All the updates on the M-Balm Effect. Woo!
Hey, also, you guys, if you enjoyed some of this, definitely check out my YouTube, Losers for Life.
Go check out Justin.
That's the number 4, not the letters. So Losers for Life. Check
That's
me
him.
out. I got some funny shit on there. I appreciate you, M-Balm. You're the fucking man.
Dude, you're the man, too. I appreciate you listening and coming on to the show and chatting with me and hanging out.
Hey,
been a
man.
trooper.
It's been my pleasure.
Thank you, man. Colin says it was fun watching. Thank you, Colin. Hope to see you in future episodes. And we will be live on March 4th on the regular show on that Saturday, 6 p.m. Eastern Time. I don't know what the Pacific is. Don't get me on that. That's probably like 3 hours behind us. But anyways, we'll be on 6 p.m. Eastern Time as we always are. Justin, thank you again for coming on with me. This is the M-Balm Effect. Thank you again. Bye.
The M-Balm Effect.